Today I'm going to talk about the pros and cons of having a fennec fox. Yeah. Number one on the negative list, well, I'm going to have 8 pros and cons. I'm going to start with the cons because then maybe you'll stick around to hear the pros, which are more fun. Of course, one of the negatives, number one, is really how flighty they are. You can see, he's fixated on a bug right now, but a lot of times they can be really jumpy and easily startled. He was kind of nervous of this camera earlier, and he always runs off and hides and gets freaked out when I make the bed or fold my clothes. Those are still really scary things for him. That's something you really can't train out of them because it's instinctual. In the wild, everything is trying to kill them, so it's safer to just run away and then maybe come back and investigate later, but running away is always the first option. One of the other negatives is that you can't pick them up. Dude, that's a roach. That's a roach. Eat them or keep them in your thing. Take them there. Yeah, that's one of the other negative things is that you can't really pick them up and set them where you want, like with a dog or a cat. Maybe they're sitting next to you and you want to put them on your lap or you want to move them off your lap. Fennec foxes don't really like being picked up. You can pick them up. I can pick him up and put him back down. Then he'll run around happy screaming after, but he doesn't like being picked up. And if I reach for him in a way that he thinks I'm gonna pick him up, he's gonna run off. So actually number 2 is doesn't like being picked up. Number 3 is trainability. I was hoping I could train him a little more. Some fennec foxes are trained fairly well, but they're more food motivated than he is. He's not very food motivated, so it's hard to reward him, which is the best way to train them, to try and give him a reward. And if I don't have something he's gonna always go crazy for, it's kind of hard to train him. Which leads into potty habits, because that's something you train, but no fennec fox is really good at their potty habits. He's not that bad in his enclosure. I have a pee pad on each level, and he's really good about going to the pee pad to pee and poop. Sometimes he'll do it on one, then run down to the next level to do the other on the other pad, but he doesn't have one set for either thing. But sometimes his poops can get scattered around in there too. Sometimes they just fall out as he's playing. And on the bed, I have a pee pad on the corner, and he'll go on that, but sometimes he'll go just beyond it to pee, or he'll pee on my pillow or in my space. Dude, you better get that roach. I don't want him running around. He'll purposefully go, especially if I've left the room or he's just upset with me, but he'll do it just because he can too. But he's not as bad as some other foxes because he's not running around the room a lot, so he doesn't mark anywhere else around the room. He's less comfortable in the other areas, so he's not as inclined to try and do any of that. I haven't, even on the nights where he has decided to explore the room, I haven't found any poop anywhere. So that's not an issue for him, but he's abnormal in that aspect that he just isn't inclined to explore much. So he won't even leave my room. So there is less mess to worry about that way. One thing everyone warned me about, which would be number 5, is that he grew up too fast. They grow up really fast, and like his really impressionable period when I first got him was very short. Like his being willing to follow me out of the room or let me take him to other rooms without getting scared and basically do whatever I went with was really short. And in hindsight, I should have done more with him, taking him out, maybe taking him for car rides, just helping him get used to more quickly, but it was such a short span of time that I was still just getting used to having him. And he didn't take much time at all to get used to being here though that was good. He fit in right away. He liked everybody right away. Number 6 would be spontaneous digging, which is cute sometimes, but can sometimes be annoying. He digs at me in bed at night, likes to dig at my feet, which is kind of funny, but you know, I'll have to sometimes stick him under a pillow or something to get them away from him, because he will dig incessantly when he's in the mood. Digs on the rugs, and he'll dig in a sandbox, of course, I provided that for him, and he'll dig at his cat tree and at the box I have in his enclosure, which can make a lot of noise, and he's And he likes to dig at his bed, which makes a lot of noise. Well, that doesn't make a noise. He likes to dig at his bed, which he dug a hole in it once, but so far that after I patched it, he hasn't dug another one yet, but he seems to be trying to. And he will dig under my bed, and he's dug at the drywall, and he's dug into the drywall a little bit just because he does it so much. But he doesn't dig under the bed as much as he used to. He mostly digs in here or at me at night, which leads into number 7, which is the destructiveness. And speaking of destructiveness, he chewed through this microphone. He's just interested in these thin cables like this, though I don't have to worry about him with thicker power cables, but I keep those out of his way just in case anyway. But if something like this I forget and is where he can get at it, he will, if he's in the mood, chew through it. A lot of times something can sit there for a long time and he won't do anything, but then he'll get in the mood and he'll bite through it. Otherwise, he's not a big chewer. He does have bully sticks and he chews on those. So all in all, he's not that destructive. Digging at things is the most destructive most of the time, but occasionally he chews through a cable. And that's why it's near the bottom of the list. And number 8 is kind of just a thing for me, but number 8 is that he nips at the anteater's tails. I used to have that walkway coming from the top of this enclosure over to the wall so the anteaters could climb up and down and run back and forth. They still have the shelf above the window, but he would jump up and bite Apua's tail when she'd come and sit on that walkway. And of course, he also was getting up on that walkway, which was dangerous for him, so I had to take that down. And I block off the shelves because he would get up with it on the anteater shelves sometimes. There's just the one though that he'll jump on, so I block that off. And that seems to keep him from getting up there. I just put a pet gate and he thinks he can't jump over it, I guess, and because it works somehow. But he doesn't jump up onto the shelf now. But when he was getting up there, he'd nip at Pua's tail and bug her, and she'd cry, and she got little scratches on her tail from his teeth, so that wasn't good. And I've heard of them doing that with other pets too, wallaby tails, whatever, cat tails. If they see moving around, they're inclined to nip at it, and they enjoy teasing other animals. And of course, they will nip at humans' toes too when they're running around the house, but as I've said, Ikigai doesn't run around like that, so I don't have to worry about that issue. That covers all the negatives I could really think of. Just the 8, he hasn't really caused too much trouble at all around here. So on to the pros. The first pro, of course, is that he's a Finnick fox. Just having a Finnick and getting to experience one, and you know, they're cute, and I've always wanted one, and it's totally different just having one, and you get to know all his little mannerisms, things you might not really be able to put into words, as well as just some of the cute noises he makes. And, you know, just the fact that he exists makes me happy. A lot of the pros can be hard to put into words, so that kind of covers anything I can't put into words. It's just, well, he's a Finnick. That's a major pro. Number 2 is his sounds, which, you know, is part of his being a Finnick, but he's got lots of cute little sounds. Like when he calls for me, he does the cute little phone ringing noise, and which is their contact call, but it kind of sounds like certain types of phones ringing. Our phone sounds like that, and it sounds enough like that that he'll answer phone ringing with a scream and get all excited, and he runs around happy screaming because he thinks it's a Finnick fox doing a contact call. He does other cute noises too. Even his grumpy noise when if I touch his butt and he doesn't want me to is cute. Number 3 is affection. Of course, that's always a plus. He's not like a dog or a cat where he's just gonna snuggle up to me whenever I want. But when he does give me some affection, it's really nice. He'll like lick my fingertips, and he'll sniff at my eyes and mouth, and he'll lay next to me and let me pet him. He does play this game where he'll lay just at the edge of my reach, let me pet him for a while, then he'll flip over a little bit, and then I have to reach a little more, and then he'll wind up where just his butt is towards me, and that's the only thing I can reach. And so I'll pet that, and then he'll grump at me. So I'll stop petting him, and then he'll move closer again, and he'll do that for a while. But yeah, he likes to lay next to me at night, and sometimes he'll call for me just to get me to come and pet him, make his little phone ringing contact call just to be pet. Sometimes he does that when he wants fed too. Number 4 is sparkles. It sounds a little weird, but part of the Finnick fox experience as well is that his coat color is a lot more intricate than you might think. He's tan, but he's got sprinkles of black through there and sprinkles of white, but the white catch the light and kind of sparkle. It's hard to pick up on camera, even with a still photo, but the white hairs in person kind of sparkle sometimes, and I just think that's neat. And he's so soft, which is especially nice during belly rubs. He loves to sometimes roll over and let me rub his belly and his chest area mainly, because he's all about above the waist, but he lets me pet him, and he's so soft. Just picking up or petting him. His ears are velvety, and he likes ear rubs a lot, and his head pet. He's just so soft, which is really nice. So number 6 is his energetic moments, which sometimes can be a downside, especially right before bed, because I want to keep playing even though I want to go to bed. But overall, his energetic moments I find really fun as well, especially when he was jumping up and climbing the curtain, jumping all over the place. It's really fun. Sometimes he does this kind of silly dance, especially like if I give him a worm or something where he wiggles his body. It's just really cute seeing how excited he gets. He'll happy scream to see me when I come back from somewhere. He'll happy scream at the dog, sometimes just for existing. Sometimes he has no reason for it. It's all just really neat. I really like when he stands on my shoulder, which is number 7. Sometimes he'll jump up on my shoulder when I'm sitting there, and he'll just stand there, sniff my eyes and check me out, see what I'm doing. And I just think that's really cute. Sometimes, of course, he'll just bounce off of me, off my back, or even off my head as he's jumping around doing his Finnick Fox parkour, but I just really enjoy that. So that is one of the positives. And the final positive thing is play. He likes to play with the cat toy, of course, and chase that and run around, which is quite fun because it bounces off the curtain and off the cat tree and all over the place. And he does that for a long time. He'll do that for a half hour or more every night, and then he'll play with cat apps on the phone for like another half hour. I'll have to look it up. But he also likes to play with his toys. He'll take a toy and pick it up, run around with it, and squeaking and screaming, and he'll happy scream to see me when I come home too, which is nice. And he'll toss his toys around to play. And final way he likes to play is sometimes when he lays next to me and I start petting his belly, he'll play like a cat and kind of kick with his feet and put his mouth on me and play. And that, I find that really cute and fun. That's just some of the positives I can think of, but like I said, it's hard to put it into words. Just having him is a dream come true. Dude, you're behind me, they can't see you. I plan to do more blogs like this. I was going to be putting out more videos more often, but I haven't done anything for a while because I've had a lot of technical difficulties, including having my mic eaten. As I wanted to do vlogs initially, like every week, and if you want anything specific covered or if you have any questions, let me know. I'm gonna try and do a few more videos with the anteaters too, maybe talk about them some. So subscribe, let me know what you think.